Is the tournament going to expand, and should it expand?
Well, the second piece, I'm on record saying that it absolutely should expand. They've added 4 teams in 40 years. That is a 6% growth. Nobody with a straight face can make the argument that college basketball has only grown by 6% over the last 40 years. I understand all of the arguments against it. Who wants to see this North Carolina team in the NCAA tournament? And it's the same argument that's been made against expansion every single time it's ever been done in any sport. I'm old enough to remember when baseball out of the wild card and Bob Costas was losing his mind. And again, I referenced the John Wooden book. You go back to 1975. That was the very first year they allowed teams in the tournament as at-large teams that had not won their conference tournament. And a lot of people said the same thing. You're watering it down. You're diminished. It's going to kill the regular season. It should be hard to get to the NCAA tournament. That's when it was at 31 teams or 32 teams. And so, all these people who are making these arguments against, like, it's the same argument that's been made against every expansion that's ever been done ever. So I will be proven right on this. As to whether or not it will happen, it's far, if I may use a metaphor, it's far from a slam dunk. And this is the other thing that people are missing, Brandon. They think, oh, it's just this big money grab and they're just doing it so they can make more money. If they could make more money, it would have been done years ago. Okay. Yep. They're not, they would like to make more money. And, on an ancillary level, individual schools who would otherwise get in the NCAA tournament who didn't, yes, they can monetize that. They can use that. But basically, everybody in the tournament, whether you are Auburn or the last number 16 seed, you get the same amount of money for your conference for every game that you play. It's called a unit. Okay. So the unit right now is about $350,000 per game. If you bring in more teams, you're taking that same pie and you're making the slices smaller, and nobody wants the slices to be smaller. So they got to grow the pie. So now you got to go back to not just CBS and Turner, but Cap One and Coca-Cola and Buffalo Wild Wings and all of your revenue sources. You got to grow the pie just so the slices remain the same size. So that's where we are. They're trying to figure out, and the NCAA feels like whatever they do to the men's tournament, they need to expand the women. I disagree with that. The women are not ready for expansion. That's a very bad reason to do it, but that's kind of in the mix as well. So that's the process. If they're going to do it for next, so they're only talking about probably 4 or 8 teams. And by the way, one of the reasons why I think they should expand it is it's going to juice up Tuesday and Wednesday. I mean, think about what you do for a living, Brandon. People say, oh, but like, I love the first 4, but what's everyone going to say next Tuesday, Brandon? Oh, this isn't the real tournament. The real tournament starts on Thursday. Well, imagine instead of 2 games each day, we have 6. You tell me you're not going to watch?
Right.
You tell me people listening to us right now are not going to watch. And may I say bet? So trust me, if and when they expand, Tuesday's going to have 6 games. Wednesday's going to have 6 games. Thursday and Friday are still going to have 16. Everyone's going to agree that it's awesome. And millions of people are going to go on to Twitter, if it's still around, hopefully it's not, and apologize to me personally and profusely and recognize that I was right and everybody else was wrong.